Shall
So
we
do
do
I, but I don't make excuses.
Hymns.com.
hymns? What's the whole fad with the hymn stuff?
Boners and good hair.
Get rid of your grays.
Yeah.
Massive erections.
On that note, coming to you live from the My Insurance Group Media Studios, the Homes and Homies. Talking about real estate stuff, fads, trending stuff, and the Bears.
The Bears.
The 2-2 Chicago Bears.
Dang, my Saints just got. I don't know what's going on with them. We're in a slump.
Ainted.
We got ainted.
Derek Carr had his prototypical 2-game streak of good yardage, and
Dude, Derek Carr is such a beast for 2 games for sure.
For 2 games.
He beasted on the Cowboys.
Dude, Derek Carr
hasn't done anything
that makes
since.
me happy.
Derek Carr can be a great quarterback.
as great as these chewy lemon heads.
Are those chewy lemon heads?
Oh, chewy lemon heads. Is this who we're sponsored by today?
Yep. So today's episode is brought to you by Candy Crunch, aka Crunchies. Got the candy corn crunch right here, freeze dried straight from Crunchies.
All right, so you guys have little kids. So does Nickelodeon still play I Don't Like Candy Corn?
Snap.
Not in my house.
Nickelodeon.
Does the Moose still sing I Don't Like Candy Corn? I don't like candy corn.
That is absolutely delicious.
I don't know about that. 'Cause I
I'm
don't
not a
like, I
candy
don't, I don't
corn
like candy
guy,
corn.
so I don't-
I'll try one. If I burst in the flame, you know what happened.
That's really good. It doesn't taste like a bunch of candy corn.
I find that hard to believe. How do you change the flavor of candy corn by?
It tastes
by
like candy
puffing
corn,
it?
but
By freeze drying.
freeze dried.
Oh, well, that's too, I
It's
don't
like
want to.
sweeter
Oh, it's got to be even worse then. It's sweeter.
in a good way.
Oh, there you go.
These lemon heads are.
You ever smelt a candle and then wanted to eat it?
Yes.
This is what I imagine happening after eating the candle.
Mike's scared.
Or at least I wish it happened like this.
Surprisingly not as bad, is it, Mike?
You know, it's less bad than regular candy corn.
It's less bad.
Click the link below to buy it. Less bad
than regular candy corn.
No, it's actually pretty decent.
But being a non-candy corn guy, that's actually I'd actually much rather eat that than traditional candy
For
corn.
sure.
So if they change flavors, is it still candy corn? Like when they do the chocolate stuff?
That's a good question. I don't know. It's delicious though.
All right.
And those are pretty good. I've never had those.
Time to go in on this chewy lemon.
I got to try cheese lemons. They're gone. Are they gone? Did you eat?
They are not gone.
Did you eat that whole package?
Oh my
I'm
god.
gonna say John Hanson. Oh, we didn't even introduce ourselves.
Like, oh, check this out.
Oh, this beats the shit out of actual lemon heads.
That's good.
Yeah.
This is fantastic.
Now, what are these here? These are chewy lemon heads. That's pretty delicious. That's got to go front and center.
Also by Crunchies.
Bam.
First place.
Any of you
Close
watch
second.
the vice presidential debate?
I'd like to say no, but I did.
We know you did, Mike.
And it was actually more watchable than the actual presidential debate.
There was a lot less, like, he said, she said.
Mudslinging.
There was still a lot of mudslinging, though. From the glimpses that I caught, it seems like they threw the name DT out there quite a bit.
They threw mud at each other's bosses.
Yeah.
So not at themselves.
It's like my boss is better than your boss.
Pretty much, yeah.
JDB was the most prepared out of all
I know, he actually
three candidates.
So I thought he did a really good job. He looked
Yeah.
presidential.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think anybody else does.
I will say they
Agree
both
with
have
that statement.
they both spoke very intellectual.
Yeah, they
Like
did.
they both had a lot of meaning behind them, and were direct with answering the questions.
Yeah, when somebody said they were friends with active shooters, I completely believed them.
Yeah.
I appreciated the sincerity of that.
He misspoke. He was not really at the Tiananmen Square protests. He was just hyped up by the action.
Yeah. I usually get hyped up and lie too.
Yeah. I just misspoke.
Big
I
character
just
flaw of mine.
misspoke.
Don't get me excited. I'll start lying.
Oh, but I want to talk about the Mexican bologna smugglers.
Yes.
Now that's a story
Is
there.
that a real thing?
Yeah.
So what is going on with this Mexican bologna smugglers?
I got to pull up the article here. I mean, this lady got busted trying to smuggle like 700 pounds of Mexican bologna and a whole bunch of medicine.
Because I want that bologna. Not the medicine, but the
I want the
bologna.
bologna. It was like
That's not good bologna.
Are those candy corns good?
I thoroughly enjoy them.
We've lost him for this episode.
I know.
so. The authorities seized 40 rolls of prohibited meat.
40 rolls.
40 rolls, and they were in their suitcases.
Interesting.
And 280 boxes of undeclared prescription medicines.
Move the mic.
So that was stuffed
Why are you making
into the
this your
bologna.
crunch?
No, they were actually separate. But here's like sorry, I probably can't see the picture, but there's like pictures of suitcases full of bologna.
If you don't move the mic, I will bring up flat Earth.
So what did they do with the bologna?
They said they destroyed it.
So they ate it.
Yeah,
or fed it to the pigs and cows.
I guess we're concerned by pork products could bring in potential foreign animal diseases.
I mean,
It's bologna.
They should have said.
That's bologna.
Now that's baloney. Mike just dubbed his new segment. Now that's baloney.
Mike's been thinking about
It
this.
was 748 pounds of prohibited pork bologna.
Prohibited meat.
They should have saved it and salvaged it, man. We're about to be in a meat sorters here pretty soon.
You know,
Not at my house.
Not at my house.
we're gonna eat squirrel.
We're gonna eat squirrel, duck, rabbit.
That's not what I meant.
I got a freezer full of deer.
I love deer.
Go in John's
Deer
house.
chili is my favorite chili by far.
Yeah, for sure.
So, do beans belong in chili? I guess since we're
Absolutely,
coming
yes.
into fall.
Beans belong in chili.
Since
So-
we're
so.
coming into fall, this is quite a questionable debate or conversation that a lot of people have, and that's if beans belong in chili.
So I already know what Mike's gonna say with what I'm about to say. But if I'm gonna eat a bowl of chili, I love to put beans in my bowl of chili. If I'm gonna do a chili dog, I can already hear.
Chili's good, dogs are good. Don't put them together.
But if some of us who enjoy chili cheese hot dogs every now and then,
Huge fan.
yeah, it's a thing, Mike. There's people. There's more of me out there than more of you.
Is that served with like defibrillator paddles?
But with that chili, no, there should be no beans. Because I've eaten it with beans before, and I'm like, this is weird, and I don't like it.
Depends on the bean.
Yeah, and so whenever I do my chili, I make a decent chili because that's what I do.
Yeah.
I like black beans in there.
Well, I mean, if you put chili on it, you already have two different meats, right? You got pork and beef,
Well,
generally.
the Vienna beef.
That's true.
Yeah, beef
If you have a
dog.
beef dog.
Yeah.
Usually
Ew.
it's beef and beef.
So,
Yeah.
so is a chili dog beef?
I think a chili dog is beef. I think like Nathan's is a beef dog, and
Yeah.
Vienna's a beef dog.
I prefer
Yeah.
beef hot dogs for
Yeah.
sure.
So unless you go to the discount store, you're getting beef.
Yeah, if you're
But
getting,
count on number
if you're getting the
54.
bar, if you're getting the Bar S hot dog, that ain't right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, yes, beans should be in chili.
If I'm eating a bowl of chili,
Yeah,
absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree too.
And then I
And if you
also
don't like beans in your chili, then screw you.
I think that's our first consensus on something there.
Which camp is claiming that beans don't belong in chili?
there's a lot of people out there. It's
Yeah.
it's
it
it's
like a
noise. It's
North
just some
thing?
stupid noise that
Yeah.
people like. Yeah, you put
It's like people who like soccer.
Yeah, I like soccer, you know. We do have the World Cup in 2026, though. So, Mike, we're going to make you a believer and take you to a game.
I'm having a hard time believing that.
We're going to make you a believer. Mike's going to come back and be like, football, we played football. Golazo. Pasa pelota aquí, pendejo.
Gonna slide my knees for 3.
Cruzala. He's gonna. John's just like, wait,
No.
more candy crunches.
So flat Earth.
No, but yeah, there is an ongoing debate. There is a community out there, and we didn't do the board today, but there
man.
is a community out there that say no beans in chili, and I just don't agree. I think
Since
beans,
we're not going to use the
beans
R
go-
word today, they're just tards.
they're just tards.
Infidels.
Compilation coming soon.
Infidels.
Infidels.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I mean, it'd be. I don't even know what bean would not be okay in a chili. You know,
Green.
So,
green bean.
So I go to
Yeah, that'd be
HEB
weird.
That'd
and,
be weird.
Yeah.
and they
I love
s-
green beans, but yeah, I don't think I'd ever put that in a
Green beans
So
are
HEB sells a like a chili mix that we go by. It's made by Terlingua or Terralingua, And we add red kidney beans to it, jalapenos, serranos. It's absolutely delicious.
See? Beans.
Can't go wrong. 45 minutes, got yourself a nice
Bam!
chili mix with kidney beans. But I don't know. I mean, do pinto beans, black beans? Would you put black beans in your chili?
You just
I
just
do.
said,
I
You do black
almost
beans.
only exclusively do black beans in my chili. Kidney beans are great in the chili. I'm not knocking, throwing shade on somebody that wants to throw a kidney bean in there. I just like the black bean, especially the way I do the chili. Also, I mean,
Yeah.
just like in my chili, I've tried the kidney.
What about pinto?
Pinto seems a little strange, but doesn't mean it's bad.
But you can never go wrong with pinto beans.
I don't
Pinto
think the
bean.
white bean gets enough love these days.
It's because it's white.
That's because it's why.
I like to use white.
just that fucking bean is so entitled. Fuck that bean.
That entitled as
It's
beans.
about equity, man. The white bean's always on
Okay,
top.
so you had to point it out. Why is there a bean for every color?
White beans matter too.
White beans, black beans, brown beans.
All beans matter. I'm just
All
All
beans.
beans matter.
Equality, baby.
I'm a loving guy.
But yeah, so black beans. Mike, your pinto beans, kidney beans. What beans are you
I'm
on?
normally kidney.
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 Yeah, that's why I'm not throwing shade on it. I just put I like the black bean in my
Deep
my
down
chili.
outside, there's somebody watching that part going, gosh, I hate that guy.
The black bean guy.
Screw you and your black beans.
Like, hit the unsubscribe button.
No. Share, repost. We're almost to 10K. We're almost there. We climbed by like 180 subscribers last week. Let's go, baby.
Push the button.
Push that button down there. Did you see the Arch Manning game this weekend?
I was there.
Oh yeah.
How do you do?
I don't know, I was super hungover.
I was there in spirit. Body, but not in
Typical
spirit.
Austin experience. 6th Street on Friday night. Don't remember on Saturday.
Yeah, I actually hadn't drank since August 4th and showed up to that sucker. We walked 3.5 miles from the hotel
To get there.
and I sat in the sun baking for 2.5 hours, hating life.
It was like 95
I had to
too.
Yeah.
leave for a whole quarter and just sit in the shade like it was.
That stadium is set up like for failure. Like you have a good side, and you have a bad side.
Yeah.
And the bad side is that you're staring directly into the sun. And I
Yeah.
think this was like a 1 p.m. kickoff, somewhere around there.
Oh, it was.
And you
It
were
just
prob-
got hotter throughout the game.
You're sitting there just staring at that sun like this.
The guys are like high-fiving over me. You can just see me sitting there like trying to get it together.
Hey, but those games are wild. The UT
It was a
games
good
are
time.
wild.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Real good time.
It's my first actual college football game.
And then afterwards, you went and completed the hangover.
Oh, for sure. Recovered, got home, took shower.
Pickle juice?
Yeah, that was actually my first shot outside of the stadium was a pickleback.
I bought a pickleback shot. I have one.
Yeah, it's such a great recovery. I started putting pickle juice in a Lone Star or Miller Lite.
A pickle flavored beer.
Yeah, it's actually
Doesn't that
pretty
cancel
tasty.
each other out then?
It's not bad.
Not even drinking, dude. Pickle juice is amazing though. Like if you get the cramps, like you're outside, you're drenched, and like there's not enough water to drink. Let me get back on the mic.
Yeah. You can't drink enough water. Crunch.
6-month birthday.
This episode's brought to you by Crunchies Candy Corn.
Yeah, here's a little known fact for you. For those with dyslexia, do you know that we don't get hangovers?
What?
Yes, believe that or not.
So you've never had a hangover?
What you get?
Red rum. Red rum.
Red rum. Red rum. In the month of October, red rum.
So through all of my college drinking, I never had a hangover.
But I bring up the UT game because apparently
Is that real?
Yeah.
Shut up. I don't believe that.
Wait, so
No,
you're-
it's right. Look, Google it.
all right, pull out the bottle of tequila.
Start now.
Now that I'm old,
Start
it
now. We'll
might
check in
get
with
me
him.
now, but back then, yeah,
We'll check in with Mike tomorrow.
my friends would be laid out like, "Let's go, boys."
Mike's like,
way.
what? That was a pregame. But the college football.
I'm gonna change subjects real fast because this one was really funny to me. This older lady, I was hanging out with when we went down to that celebration with my wife and her family, and this older lady told one of my wife's cousins that she was a cougar, but she was like 75, 76, and I feel like there's a cutoff for cougar.
Yeah.
So I without hesitation couldn't let that stand, and I said, "You're more like a saber-toothed tiger." And it was just too funny not to say on this.
What did she say?
Did she shank you?
She didn't hear. She didn't really hear what I said. I was like, you're like a saber-toothed tiger. You're like fucking extinct, bitch.
You're like Tony the Tiger.
I just thought that was really funny. Anyways, I had to share that here.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Did she go round?
More like.
That's brutal.
That ain't right.
That ain't right. That ain't right.
Yeah, don't call yourself a cougar around me.
if you're 75 plus, don't say you're a cougar around John.
I mean, nothing against the 75 over.
Throw the R word out there.
Just don't.
It's just a T word now. Tards.
It's just tards.
I forgot to tell you guys, I actually got into a fight and beat up by this guy named Milk.
This is gonna be a bad joke. I feel like coming.
I do too. I'm like,
What did Milk do to you?
All I know is, how dare he?
No, give it the sad trombone.
that's almost as good as my how do you make a hanky dance? You put a little boogie in it. It gets me every time too. I know it's coming.
I actually told the bartender that joke, and she didn't get it.
So those were the good days, right? I mean, I was at HEB the other day, and talking about nostalgia, the cashier asked me how I was doing. I go, I'm doing good. How are you doing? She goes, just chilling. I go, chilling like a villain. And she was kind of like,
You just
what?
You just Dr. Scholl's.
She just straight up like, what the?
Another funny
What
one.
are you talking about, old man?
At the airport, because I say like to waiters and waitresses a lot of times, like, you're the bomb.
Yeah.
So at the airport, I didn't think I was at the airport.
Oh, no.
Like, you just did like, but the waitress dropped off the food, and I was like, "You're the bomb." She's like, "You can't say that here." And I was like, "My bad. I didn't think about it."
He's like, bah,
You're the
bah,
best.
bah, 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 bah.
I mean, I didn't mean to explode like that.
Was she a saber-tooth tiger?
Enjoy your movie. You too.
Do you remember the saying "for shizzle my nizzle"?
Yeah.
That's Snoop Dogg.
Never gone anywhere.
That's still alive and well.
No, but it was just hysterical because her glare at me was kind of like, what? Like, what does that even mean? And I'm like, oh, sorry.
You should be like
80s
well,
baby problems.
No, you should have been like, well, villains, they usually get caught and they spend a lot of time in the penitentiary, so they get to chill in their cells for a long time.
Yeah, and that was the history of it.
There you go.
John
Santiago.
just spitting facts. What other like 90s sayings and phrases were there? Let's look these up.
Oh, there's like stuff like cool beans. Cool
Cool
beans, man.
beans.
Far out, bro. Maybe pre-90s.
That is a huge roach. He needs a name.
Why do we have a roach in here?
That's like Jeffrey.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
That reminds me of a song.
As if. So here are the top.
As if.
Scrub, home skillet, booyah. I think booyah was probably like my most used one.
Oh, what about Boom Shakalaka? Is that on
Boom
there?
shakalaka.
NBA Jam for sure.
No.
Nah, I don't see it. Dodgy, scrub, boo, chilling like a villain's in here.
Mom, I don't like powdered milk.
I'm
What about-
outie.
I always like want the saying when we were kids. I want to be like Mike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Whatever, you major
That's 80s,
loser.
wasn't it? That was 80s.
Yeah.
Like Mike. If I
Like-
could be like
It could have been.
Mike.
It could have been. Yeah, it could have been
Spike Lee
80s.
did his commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could've
You wanted to be like Mike when he was with the Washington Wizards or when he was with the Bulls?
Definitely when he was winning like 5 championships.
When he was winning.
When they repeat his repeats.
Yeah.
Chillax, number 14.
Chillax.
Crusty. Crib, dope. I mean, dope is still kind of used
Still say dope.
to this day. But what's the replacement for dope? Isn't it like Riz or some crap like that? Isn't that like cool? Like Gen Z or whatever they call themselves is like Riz. That's Riz, bro.
All I know is say less means I got you. I found this out. I think I've told you this
Yes,
story.
I've heard
a
that
couple
story.
times. Yeah. Say less. Say less is like I got you.
Elaborate a little bit. No, tell us the story of Say Less.
So I wrote a really long email that I usually don't write. Like usually,
It was a
all my-
rant.
Well,
Let's
yeah,
be- it was a
Well,
rant.
it was just like asking all the agents to do a certain thing, right, in the office. And so I usually, most of my emails, if I even email, is like 3 sentences, 4 sentences.
Yeah.
But this one was like literally like paragraph, paragraph, paragraph. but I was very serious in every paragraph, you know? And I get a response back from our youngest employee within like the first 3 or 4 minutes, and her response was, say less. And I thought she was saying that I wrote way too much. And I was like, every single thing I put in there, I fucking meant. So I kind of shoot out, kind of like upset. I'm like, hey, I meant we need to do everything in there. And she was like, it means I got you. And I was like, oh, my bad. Thanks. Let's dab.
Let's dab it up.
She said, let's dap.
For sure.
Dap like this. That was like a personification of dapping like that.
Kicking, eat my shorts, hella, homie.
Oh, eat my shorts.
Jiggy, let's get jiggy with it. You might not. P. Diddy be getting jiggy with it. Lame. Fresh. Mondo, my bad. There's a lot of these. Side gig. Rad. Swing.
Nobody said that.
Swing. Sick.
Swing world.
Sweet. Totally tripping. Whack. Bling. Veg out. You go, girl. I wonder what the replacement for that today is, because that is not.
I like how that was the only thing that sounded natural for you.
You go, girl.
You go, girl. Banging, bugging, butthead. Can you dig it? Cowabunga. There's quite a bit. What was your most termed phrase that you used growing up in the 90s? Where were you in the 90s?
I was homeschooled.
Dang.
Yeah. So, hey, Mom, can we have cable?
Mom, can I watch TV?
Yeah. Simpsons are on.
You know what's so crazy about, like, you bring up homeschooling, right? Like, I mean, I was late because I was dealing with an issue at school. And it's so crazy nowadays to think that, like, they teach these kids to do what they call our, like, gentle touches. Back in the day, it would be like, my mom told me if somebody was picking on me, punch that fucker in the nose. Like, you ain't taking no shit from anybody. Now it's like, hey, so-and-so's pick on me. Tell the teacher. Teacher does nothing. But I'm supposed to not do anything back.
That's
like,
stupid.
It's stupid, right? So it's just crazy with, like, whereas society we've come, like, back in the day, it'd be like, meet me outside. Let's go outside.
You're being trained and indoctrinated to keep the peace at the expense of yourself for the convenience of authority.
Right, and then we wonder why the suicidal rate is so high right now amongst the young generation.
You got to work through conflict together.
Exactly. Somebody needs a good ass whooping every now and then.
So that's how some people respond.
I mean, that's what my dad always taught me, right? Like, hey, if you're getting picked on, nobody handles the situation, take care of the situation. Just expect that you might not be the bigger, stronger person in the situation. You might end up with a good ass whooping, but everybody needs a good ass whooping every now and then.
Move on to the other weakest link.
Yeah, they just need. If you get some older brothers, you don't get picked on anymore.
Says John. That's why I hung out with the older kids.
That's a good strategy.
Well, they would beat your ass like more than anybody else could. Like,
But you don't touch my little brother. I ain't do that. I kick his ass for you.
But
again, you're not afraid to stand up for yourself.
yeah, dude. Well, and I mean, it also didn't hurt that like I was this tall when I was 14. So
John was tall.
yeah, I mean, I mean,
the guys used to hang out with were the bullies, though.
Yeah, I never bullied anybody.
Not John. John was a good kid. Never bullied.
I just don't like bullies.
Just roasted a little bit, a little teasing.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, there's several people we just really had to tease.
Yeah,
They-
Like,
Yeah, dude.
Why are your pants so high?
Jordan, sorry, buddy. Just thought of you. My bad.
Whoops. If you're watching.
I mean, but you really were teasable.
Rough Boyd, I'm sorry.
all those kids that got freshman bowled. Sorry. It was kind of crazy because like the way MacArthur was set up, we had just gotten like new facilities from they had just built these facilities, and they set up like the locker rooms.
You got the new facilities. We did not get. We got the senior year. We were still half and half.
Yeah, so the newer showers that they had in the locker room were just like a straight line. Like it was literally just shower heads along the wall and in the center. And they used to, the seniors at the time, I think you probably know who would do what they call as freshman bowling, and one of them would run with like a full bottle of shampoo through it because it was like tiled floor, so it'd make it super slippery. Meanwhile, like, you have a 260-pound linebacker come running through just like sliding on his stomach just like this, and just imagine the sound of ass cheeks hitting fucking wet flooring. All the way down.
So
That does not happen nowadays.
We had the Hall of Shame. The seniors would line up on both sides of the hallway right outside the classrooms, and the freshmen would come through and just mosh pit them. You know?
Just saying, if it happened in the locker room, it didn't happen.
Yeah. The funniest, I think, memory growing up in high school was like we had a coach. His name was Coach Bailey. I don't know if you remember Coach Bailey or not.
Vividly.
But he was a coach that would not watch what came out of his mouth. And he ended up being our soccer coach. He was a football coach. I think Jay
He knew nothing about soccer.
knew nothing about
How's that
soccer.
He
How do you go
was
from
the
football
the
to
defensive
football?
line
Yeah.
He was the
Coach.
defensive line coach.
Yes.
Just get in and hit him. You can't do that, Coach.
But so we were practicing, and it was pouring rain, and he called practice, right? We were ending. And he said, okay, well, all you dudes don't run into the locker room because the girls' cheer squad is inside the locker room decorating varsity football's lockers. And as soon as he said that, he goes, oh, shit.
Yeah.
He got into that locker room so fast, it was like, don't put a piece of clothing on. Get your ass outside on that track right now. And he got in trouble with the principal because we were out there running in like our compression shorts and socks with no shirt. And it must have been probably 70 and raining. I mean, it wasn't super cold, but still.
Sounds like a great way to practice.
Great way to end the practice. But yeah, it was hysterical because he was a coach that never watched what came out of his mouth.
My basketball coach was our math teacher.
Really?
Well, he was not really. I mean, he's not a great.
They don't do that nowadays. It seems like everybody has a proprietary position. Like your soccer coaches and football coaches are not your teachers anymore.
Well, there's
What?
more. Yeah, there's more funding now.
But
Yeah, they
there's-
just teach PE now.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then athletic periods. Yeah.
they don't.
For,
Yeah,
for the most part. I mean, I'm sure that you'll probably get some of them that are like actual teachers.
You know that Adam Sandler,
I didn't mean that.
that is wrong.
you know the Adam Sandler movie, like 8 Crazy Nights? It's a cartoon.
Yes.
And the little referee. That's a technical foul. That's what my coach sounded like. Well, math teacher that side gigged as a coach.
The other funny thing we had happen was so Coach Bailey was our varsity soccer coach, and I was on varsity freshman year, and
Flex.
flex, yeah, you know. But
Humble brag, guys.
the craziest thing that he did was try and call timeout at a soccer
I'm about to
game.
fact check this. Jade was.
The craziest thing was that he could try and call a timeout in a soccer game, and he was livid, dude. Threw his clipboard on the ground and everything.
tried to call it
the
timeout.
freaking ref was like, "What are you doing?" He's over there, timeout. And the ref's like, "Dude, there's no timeouts in soccer."
So what do? You just fake an injury? Is that the point
You
of this?
I mean, that's the plan. Yeah, you just throw yourself on the ground and say somebody stepped on your toe.
Okay.
It worked.
I get it now.
That's why he's.
You can't call timeout.
No, there's no timeouts in soccer.
No timeouts in soccer. It's going to be a chapter in my
So
book.
if somebody kicks it out of
Title of
bounds and the
Clock
play
doesn't
stopped,
stop.
you can't call timeout then?
Mm-mm.
That's why I don't
So
like
that's why
soccer.
the clock keeps running.
Because there's no commercial breaks. I gotta pee, damn it.
That's even if the ball goes out of bounds.
It's true. Is there an out of bounds?
Yes.
Yeah, there's
I'm
out
just kidding,
bounds. No, but yeah, so the clock doesn't stop. Clock keeps running. They do what's called extra time or added time, which is for like all your injuries, stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Injuries.
it happens.
Well, I knew that part. I've played FIFA before. So. Huh. It's crazy. No timeout.
So, Mike, what's going on in the world of mortgage? Quick
So-
update.
Quick update. The mortgage rates are going in the wrong direction, unfortunately. Couple of factors. The employment reports were better than expected. And the whole longshoreman strike is sure to have an inflationary issue. I mean, just try to buy toilet paper today. See how that goes.
You know where to get toilet paper right now. It's Hobby Lobby. Everybody forgets about Hobby Lobby.
What
Or
is
not
Hobby
Hobby Lobby, but Big Lots. Big Lots. Big Lots.
You're like, it might be like there might be some floral patterns on the toilet paper. There might be some weird decorations. You might get some glitter on your butt. But you can buy a lot of toilet paper. at Hobby
Here's
Lobby.
what you do. You walk in with the roll. You go to the bathroom at Hobby Lobby, and you just roll the roll up.
You guys don't have a warm water, warm seat bidet yet?
It's like Hobby Lobby Tuesday morning. Michael's, go get some toilet paper.
Wait, what's y'all status on having a bidet? Do y'all have a bidet, like a warm seat,
Absolutely
warm
not.
water type?
No.
Don't make that face. You're missing out.
Nah.
You're missing out. They even have them with like a vortex.
I secretly
mode now.
think Gary's in the booty thing.
I like
I
a clean
mean,
booty. Is something wrong with that?
vortex.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I mean, but that's
I
why
don't have a bidet at my house, but my parents have one, I think, at theirs. So I mean, that's what they like. So.
But I mean, that's why foreigners think we're weird with this whole toilet paper stuff, because a lot of them use bidets.
Well, and a lot of them will have like those like shower heads hooked up to the back of their toilets too, so they take like a little butt bath.
I mean, so if you used the bidet,
Yes, dude.
you have one.
Daily.
Warm,
So
okay, hold on. Before you ask this question, it's got warm water. It's got a warm seat. It's got 4 modes. It's got regular clean hygiene. You can adjust the water. And it's got vortex mode. I'm never constipated. I will say that. It's got feminine hygiene,
Enema mode.
and that's what vortex is.
I think it just flipped you off. I'm not sure.
And then
I'll take
to
it.
top it off, it has a dryer.
sign me up.
I'm telling you.
That's what I was gonna ask. Is like, I don't want to have swamp ass everywhere I go because I use the bidet, and now my stuff's all wet.
And that go through a little life cycle of poop, and then one baby wipe, and you're in the clear, my friend.
I mean, I couldn't imagine having to show like 15 homes and having swamp ass because I used the bidet.
I don't even know what that means anymore.
How do we get on this topic? This is just weird. Next.
You know what? I'll take this topic over a lot of other topics we talk about.
So let's talk a little bit about flat Earth. So a lot of people are talking.
Yes.
2 moons. Have you seen 2 moons lately? A lot of people are looking up in the sky and saying they see 2 moons.
No.
Yeah.
So I think we should replace the longshoremen with robots.
Robots. What about robots, Mike?
Longshoremen out. You just put yourself out of job.
I don't know.
I mean, they are asking for a lot.
Robots are?
No,
No,
they
the
want like
longshoremen.
I think it's
Yeah.
a 77% rate.
Seven, 70 is what I heard.
Can y'all explain
So
what
the
a
u-
longshoreman is?
So the longshoremen are the guys who take the stuff off the ships
Okay.
and they put them on the semis and then they go where they're supposed to go.
They pick things up and they put them down.
Okay.
So it's kind of an unskilled position. I mean, there's some skill obviously involved. Like grab the crane and plot
What
it on
is
there.
their job? What's their job title? They're called shoremen.
Longshoremen.
Longshoremen. Are there short shoremen?
They might be. These guys are long. So to get the job, they have to have certain length to be
Right.
employed. I don't know.
Certain colored bean.
Wow. So that's crazy. So you said they're asking for like 77% increase in.
That's what I heard the other day on the news.
How much are they making?
So on average, a longshoreman here in Texas makes about $72,000 a year.
Yeah. You probably work like 8 days a week.
I don't think so.
There's only 7 days in a week.
Oh, wait a second. Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, so
I think
historically, if they're asking for
the lowest wage, I think out there, and I could be
It's
wrong.
like 28 bucks an hour.
And it's like that's not a bad wage for not skilled labor. I mean, like, so if there was a lot of skill involved, like yeah, you need a raise. But like when you literally, I pick things up and I put them down.
and they're union
are
too.
we
That's
that's
the whole
all
problem.
they
They're
do?
union.
Are
They
we sure
unload
that's all
cargo
they do?
ships. That's what they do.
They
So-
unload cargo
so a
ships. Like,
70%
that's what they do.
A 70% increase in salary would put them over 100K a year.
Easily, like 130.
Like entry level position would
Like
be over 100.
like FedEx drivers. Or no, I'm sorry, it was UPS drivers.
Yeah, and we're not saying 28's the cap for these guys either.
That's like the
It's
entry wage.
Entry, like you know.
I'd rather pay for better cops and teachers. personally.
I mean, I had no problem when they struck the deal here in San Antonio to raise the fire department.
Yeah.
And,
Those guys have lousy jobs.
Dude, it is a rough job. And same thing with the police officers. It's like everybody talks about defunding the police. I'm like, dude, no, give those guys some more funds, because if you funded it better, you get better people.
quality, yeah.
And it's like, man, I am all for having some guys,
better background
some guys
checks.
serving and protecting that aren't.
Yeah, psychological systems
Yeah,
in
that aren't-
place for recovery.
I was going to
Get
go
it to
with
get
the R
monkeys.
word, but like that aren't idiots, right? Like, so you pay somebody a super low wage that's going to put their life on the line. The only people you're going to get are lower quality, and you pay or one of two, or some super altruistic people, which we have a lot of. And so it's like, thank you guys for what you guys do, but it's like if you paid them better, you would get better or more people that are that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, it's also a lack in oversight too that results in that, right? Like they'll get the money and then they'll put it onto shit that you shouldn't be putting money into, instead of like good programs that are going to enable good systems and processes for that. But like, I mean, now you have we defunded it, and now there's places in Minnesota, New York, California, where people are just walking off the job like, nope. Here's my badge. Here's my gun. I'm not doing
No,
that
for
shit.
sure. Yeah,
I'm outta
for
here,
sure.
dude.
Well, yeah, and those are good people doing that too, which sucks.
Yeah, exactly.
And I don't know.
I mean, what's the saying? I don't get paid enough.
Yeah.
I don't make enough for this.
I mean, it's kind of like the whole macro level of like why Soros like funds these kind of insurgencies across the world. I know it sounds crazy, but they eventually results in privatized, militarized, government-run police infrastructures.
I heard some like people were getting paid like $500 to go to like Kamala's rallies and stuff like that. That was crazy.
Dude, I would go to Kamala's rally for
$500.
Yeah, I would too.
You get to see P. Diddy sing a song and Kamala Harris
Oh,
for $500. You can't pay me enough to go see that.
We're at 412. We got to cut that out.
So, Mike, going to
time he takes a bite,
going to your
it's an edit
statement, the average total compensation package for a UPS driver is $145,000 a year.
UPS?
UPS.
No way.
After the big strike, they got paid.
Really?
Which includes benefits like healthcare premiums, paid vacation, and holidays.
Is that entry?
It doesn't say entry. This
says
is
average.
full-time driver. That's the average. So you're probably making anywhere from 115 to 160-ish.
Is that location specific?
No.
No,
That's everywhere?
it's everywhere.
Stop it.
Gary's like, I'm going to UPS after the show.
Here he's like, we're going to change the timing on this podcast.
Say less.
Hey, dude, that's absurd.
Their night supervisor for a warehouse makes $115,000 a year.
And you're not doing anything.
You're supervising the night.
You're checking boxes.
If you want to be a supply chain analyst, the average salary is about $90,000 a year. A director makes $171,000 a year. Revenue managers average is about $118,000, and the senior VP of UPS makes $414,000 a year.
That seems legit.
Wonder what that
Let's
guy
see its
started off doing.
competitor FedEx though. What's the average for FedEx?
They charge way too much. It's got to be double.
It's
You
still
think?
cheaper than going with the USPS.
Part-time. Their senior vice president makes $448,000 a year. Application analyst is $100K a year. FedEx truck driver in San Antonio, Texas makes an average of $50,000 a year.
Trash.
Man.
Yeah.
No wonder why you don't see FedEx all over the place.
Oh,
See Ups and Amazon.
yeah, Amazon's.
Amazon's just going to own everything.
Did you know that you could buy your own Amazon truck? Like you can, like you buy the van and you start your own. Like a lot of them are independents.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes, I do know that.
Which
the only
is-
reason why I know that is because we insure a couple guys that do that.
Really?
Nice.
You can buy the route. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who else does that? Somebody else does that too.
You buy the route too.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Well, anybody with a vehicle can go pick up packages from Amazon too.
You'll see a lot of
And
Mercedes.
I
Sprinters.
actually know a guy who he bought a buttercrust route. Like, so he literally, like, has a guy driving a buttercrust truck for him.
That's crazy. So, what does the insurance on that look like? Do they need commercial policy, or is it just
It's commercial.
still commercial?
Yeah.
Even an independent that goes to Amazon and does the little stuff, is that commercial or is that?
Little stuff, man. Little stuff gets dicey, right? Because technically, so if you're running a business and you're doing a little stuff like full time,
Yeah.
absolutely, it's commercial. I mean, literally delivering stuff, right? But there's a bunch of gray areas now with the Uber drivers, the Lyft drivers, because insurance stops. Lyft, Uber picks up, but there's like this no man's land. So there's endorsements that several companies will do for those guys.
Yeah.
Only problem is not every company offers that endorsement. And there's several people that there's several companies, if they find out that you're driving Uber, they're going to be like, hey, we're going to cancel your policy because we don't want any type of this liability. And so, like for some of this delivery stuff, the same thing applies, right?
Right.
Because like there theoretically there is coverage if you're driving Uber Eats. There's coverage. Uber picks it up at some point, but if you don't have an endorsement, there's no coverage.
Makes sense.
For the time period of like you getting it and like going to the place, right?
Right.
So
Sounds like a lot of overhead.
Probably is.
yeah.
Should just do like my Uber driver did this weekend when we were shit faced at 1 a.m. He just sold us $20 joints, and he just like followed us around.
416.
You want some Maui Wowie, man? I got that Maui Wowie, man. Take you to the moon.
And then I got high.
Proves the earth is round
joints.
and not flat.
I wasn't talking about cocaine. Come on, guys. Just a little bud ski, you know? Throw it back with a Zen, you know what I mean?
So how far did the flat earth theory did you make it with?
I don't even talk about it anymore. My wife's like, so what do you believe? And I was like, you gotta watch the podcast.
I tell you what's
Check
funny.
into Homes and Homies.
I tell you
and
what's
you'll find
funny.
out.
We did this for 6 months, and we had one video with hot sauces that kind of got like a hey, hot sauces could hurt people. Gary comes on in August, and we get 7
Smoking joints.
We're account
10,000,
restricted.
all right? I'm not saying smoking joints is a good idea. Unless you, well, you know what, I'm not going to do that. But
Unless you're shit faced on a Friday night in Texas.
Downtown Austin, meet Joe, the Uber driver.
And if you're
He
not
will hook
smoking
you
a
up.
joint, you're weird.
There's some wild.
From a very strange Uber driver. That's the only time I do it.
He's all here, try this shit, man. And Gary's like, okay,
can I smoke that?
can I smoke? Isn't that the saying? Keep Austin weird, though.
No, it was weird.
Oh,
It was super.
It's
I've had some wild experiences down on 6th Street in Austin
It's
too.
got
I mean,
a little Louisiana vibe now, a little New Orleans. It's got a little New Orleans.
I'm
vibe for
surprised
sure.
saying it.
Are you just saying there's a lot of homeless, dirty people now? That's right. You can cut it out at 417 too.
Just cut out the last
well, you're not wrong, though.
Dude, I was blown
gold,
away.
right? Keep it-
Honestly,
keep
I
it
went
all.
to Nolans in January. Into January, it was like shortly before Mardi Gras, right? And like you can kind of see they were getting ready for Mardi Gras. Dude, there was a lot of poverty going on, and it was kind of sad. And you know, we went French Quarter, we walked around Bourbon Street, and it was just like, man.
Does it still smell?
Absolutely.
So that's why,
Austin doesn't smell.
Mike goes,
but that's why we went in January
Yeah.
because it smells
Less odorous.
less,
Not as hot.
because it's not as hot.
Right.
Yeah, like
Austin
But-
didn't smell terribly. It wasn't.
yeah.
You,
But
you probably the other smoke up your nose
Yeah.
probably deadened your
I went to
olfactory.
I went to
smoked
Nolans
after
in the
Michael.
summertime.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I'll never ever go there in the summertime again.
Where?
Ever.
New Orleans?
Nolans.
Nolans, yeah.
So I ended up in Austin when we were up there one year. This was the first time I found out that there are women out there that don't shave their pits. So we're at a bar.
I saw that.
We're at a bar.
I saw a couple of that.
And we were at a bar and I'm younger. Like
And you're
and we're
pointing like-
drinking. Well, no, I'm walking. I get my drink. I'm walking back to my table, and I forget what bar we were at, but I'm walking back to my table, and a chick just throws her hands up in the air and it's like, hey, like starts dancing on the, and literally the BO and the stench that came out of that, I was like, I turned around thinking I was about to see like a big old 300-pound, dude. Nope.
No, if
Nope.
yeah, if you're
Girls
gonna
don't
not
shave their
At
pits.
least wear deodorant. I don't think it's misogynist to say that.
I think it's a naturalist thing, though. I think a lot of
It's
these people do this because
Be a
they.
naturalist. Make your
Well, put some
statement.
natural.
Make your statement
Yeah.
with your pits, not
I'm
your
not a big
smell.
fan of patchouli, but I mean, throw it on there.
I don't. You can violate my eyes, just don't violate my nose.
I draw the line in my nose.
That goes into my brain. Okay. I don't need any of those toxins. Unless I'm smoking it.
We're going to the moon, boys.
So it was actually kind of cool. We were going for a bachelor party. That's why we're in Austin. And we hung out with my buddy's fiance's dad. He was there with us. And the coolest dude, like 58 years old.
That's flipping old.
There's always one of those.
He's like 5'7", 5'8", coolest cowboy hat. You know, he's done well in his life.
So the bride's father?
He was there, and he was cooler than all of us. Like, and I'm serious. Like, we were hanging at the bar. He bought some drinks. Bartenders are hitting on him, and we're talking about like 24-year-old fit bartend girls. Like, and we're just looking at this guy like, how do you do it? Like, well, boys have been around for a long time. I just got the look. We're like, this guy is cool, man. Like the groom, he went home early. His son was there, the guy's son as well, the bride's brother. He got too shit-faced and went home. And so it was just me, my buddy John, and this guy Brad. And we're sitting there for an hour and a half drinking drinks, getting wisdom from this guy, getting his life story, and it was awesome. You look like you don't believe this.
I just feel bad for the groom. You know, I was just thinking like,
yeah, they hang out with the
processing. It's like, I'm fucking going home early. Would you tell the story? Like, yeah, checks out. Groom went home early, and then weird. The son went home early too. I can't imagine why.
It sounds like a movie.
Wisdom.
Then all the groomsmen show up to the wedding late.
So the groom is actually he's an ex-Navy fighter pilot, and he now flies with FedEx. And so he's one of those people like there's not much you can do to impress him, you know. So I could see he got to that point where he hit a wall. It was like, I'm gonna go Mimi's now. I'm done, right? And so he goes home with the 22-year-old son went with him. He was like, oh, I just had 8 Red Bull and vodkas. I'm ready to go right now. I need to go to sleep. It's like, all right, buddy. Time for you to go. But yeah, we just had a nice little gentlemanly guys' night out till we got to the Uber.
Then the party ramped up.
we got drugs from a stranger. It's all cool.
And they were good.
You ever see that movie with crap? I'm forgetting the name of it. Dirty Grandpa. You ever see the movie Dirty Grandpa? You remember Pam?
Yeah.
That's what the Uber driver reminded.
Oh my god!
You boys, cops? Nope. All right. Well, I got cocaine and I got Maui Wowie right here.
I love that guy.
And he's all, I'm a lawyer, man. He's like, shut up, you little girly boy. You probably deal with LLCs and compliance. And he's like, how'd you?
Doesn't he run a gift shop too?
Yeah, he runs a gift shop. It's Robert De Niro and what's the guy's name?
Zac Efron.
Zac Efron.
You guys haven't seen that movie?
No.
You guys are missing this whole bit. Please go see it. It's so good.
It's a dirty comedy, but it's funny.
Not that dirty.
I mean, Robert De Niro's impregnating like a 22-year-old, so it's kind of dirty. But
his wife.
But it's legal, I guess. So. I mean, it's. But that's what the Uber driver reminds me of, Pam. But you get introduced to Pam in the movie because he's running a gift shop, and Robert De Niro and Zac Efron walk in there, and they're supposed to be like grandson and grandfather, and they're looking for clothes because they're in Florida for spring break or something. And Pam is talking to them because he's looking at him funny, or something happens, a gunshot happens outside, and they look at him, and Pam's like, you boys cops. And then that's where all the drugs. And then he's driving an ice cream truck stacked with drugs while they're doing a wild chase to get Zac Efron back to his high school sweeheart or whoever she was.
Great movie.
It's a pretty fun movie.
John doesn't.
Oh, John's got to wrap it up.
We are on time. You want to wrap it, Mike?
No, that's not my job. I'm the opener. John's the closer.
John's the closer.